So if you watched yesterday's video on the SPY stock market analysis, you are well aware that I had said to focus on puts towards resistance. And then I also said, if you thought yesterday was going to be crazy for the market, today was even going to be crazier. And that's exactly what happened. What an insane day. And I'm going to say it here. If you thought today was crazy, which it was truly insane. Tomorrow is going to be one of the craziest days for the market in terms of volatility and percentage returns. We have the insane market volatility, and we also have the contracts expiring on Friday. So the potential returns on those contracts are going to be exponential. With that being said, they're also going to be extremely risky. You can lose 30 to 50% very, very quickly. So make sure you guys are sizing in light for tomorrow, and you can be in a situation where you can do very, very well on such a small position size. So with that being said, here's the deal. We're going to do a quick BBIG stock analysis. I just attended a business meeting, and I also have another meeting to attend in 25 minutes. After that, I'm going to hit the gym real quick. And then from there, I'm going to work on my late night stock market analysis, going over the SPY and several other stocks. That is most likely going to be a long video lesson, but it's going to be worth watching to the end and worth the wait. Because guys, I'm telling you, the opportunities for tomorrow are going to be absolutely unreal. And I'm also going to be recapping my trades that I made today within that video and going over some of the mistakes I made today and some of the things I did right for the day. So without further ado, let's get into the BBIG stock market analysis. This is going to walk you through in terms of, is this done? Is this play done? Is this play just over? I'm going to walk you through the price action in terms of best prices to be buying, best prices to be selling, buying put options, best price to be buying call options. So if you've been following the stock market analysis that I've been doing on BBIG, you're well aware it's been extremely on point. I had people ride this up from the mid threes, and I literally told them on this day to sell, lock in profits at $5.19 a share. Ever since then, it's been nothing but downhill. I really encourage you, if you're new to the channel, to subscribe and watch my previous analysis. You're going to learn so much about price action, timing, and the technical strategies and how to consistently make money within the market. So with that being said, in terms of BBIG stock, where do I think we're at in terms of the current chart? I am extremely bearish. I am so bearish on this stock right now. I would not be buying. I would be avoiding this at all costs. I'm going to walk you through the potential upside potential. But overall, things are going to get very, very ugly. A lot of it has to do with the huge market sell-off. With that being said, I think we're setting up for something like this. I don't think it's going to be a generous play. So in terms of generous plays, generous stocks are ones that do something like this. They spike up and then they come back down and then they rip back up, and you have the opportunity to sell towards that previous top, or you can try to make a little bit more money, but overall it just kind of tops out. But the point of it being generous is it spikes back, giving you an opportunity to sell at the previous top if you didn't do that in the first place, like I had walked people through on BBIG stock. So in this case scenario, I think this is basically going to be something like this. We have this massive sideways move up where it basically doubles, and then it just sells off very, very hard. We have this massive, nice upside move kind of trading up sideways, just like right here. You can see it's kind of the same pattern. Like if you look at the candlesticks and if you look at how it's trading up sideways, it's kind of the same pattern. And then the volume just fades hard on the first couple red days. The volume fades hard on the first couple red days. I think it's going to be more like this in terms of generosity for this stock in my current views. The highest I could really see it going at this point is to fill the gap at 453. I'm extremely bearish on this stock, extremely short bias. In terms of the market analysis that I gave out on this stock yesterday, I had told you from a macro point of view, the bears are still in control. And I also told you guys, if you see 453 react as a resistance level, that is extremely bearish. It's going to be heading back to fours. Once $4 cracks and turns into resistance, the bears take full control and it goes to around 330. That's literally in terms of basically exactly what it did. You could see like in the pre-market, all this did was turn that key 453, this key gap fill level. There was a gap to fill at 453 right here. All it did in terms of pre-market, this gap that I'm talking about right here, all it did was turn into resistance, which is very, very bearish. You're turning your key gap fill level into resistance. You're turning your key, previous support with huge upside into resistance. Therefore, you can see right here, this is the resistance. It pulls back hard into the low fours, lower highs, pulls back hard, lower highs, pulls back hard, more lower highs, pulls back very, very hard to 390s. all bearish confirmations that we're on track to go to the low 330s. Like I mentioned in my video, you see this react as 453 resistance, very bearish. You see $4 crack react as resistance, very bearish. It goes to low threes, and that's exactly what's happening in that sense. So for the micro price action and with the way things are with the stock market, there's really no hope for this play at this point. Like I said, the highest I really see it going is to 453. From an overall point of view, we're going to low threes. You know, we're just on track for like 330. Within time, though, things are going to get ugly. And within some time, not right away, within some time, a couple weeks, we're heading down to a gap fill at 234. So once this gap fills at 234, that's where I'll be looking to step back in. In terms of your absolute best entry for investing, there's another gap that's actually waiting to fill right here. It's the lowest gap towards all-time lows at $2.19. There might even be a lower one. Let me double check this. Let's see. Yeah, so right around that 219 level to $2, that's where I would consider buying from here. So in terms of micro, your best bet is a spike to 453. If you see that react as a resistance level, rebuy the puts. We had people buying puts on this yesterday in the fives. One guy is literally still holding those out because the chart is just so bearish. And those puts are printing. You know, I gave them all the analysis. They literally cashed out. They locked in profits at a very good price. And then some of them got on the put side. So with that being said, that's where I think we're at. You know, it's this sideways uptrended pattern. We're selling off. We're having the first red days. The market's selling off. Very, very bearish. It's not ideal to be buying, you know, these meme stocks when they're up 100, 150% plus. And everyone's hyping into, you know, the short squeeze. And it's important to pay attention to how this ended. This ended on the highest volume day when BBIG started to get halted. And then all the big YouTubers, all the big influencers, all these big guys came in and started talking about it. That's when retail fucked up the stock. So just pay attention to when you really see something getting hyped up like that. That's how you kind of have a sense on when the end will be coming. But in terms of, you know, the end for me, is very predictable. There's a gap to fill, 599. This is a huge downside potential level. If it reacts as a reversal, it's going to get crushed. And, you know, this trend's going to step in, and that's what happened. So in terms of BBIG stock, the best price you can short this and to consider buying puts is at 453. We are on track to go to 330s this week. From a macro point of view, highest I see this stock going is to 453. Overall, this will go back to 234 within time, not right away. And I'm not saying there can't be some micro spikes along the way. I'm just saying in terms of an overall price action, like I'm not saying this is exactly going to happen. I'm just saying this is where we're heading. It's just going to take some time. It could be right away, but from an overall picture with the way the market is and the way this is playing out with all these bearish confirmations nonstop, we're setting up for a 453 gap fill at best. And within time, a couple weeks, like 3 to 4 weeks probably, a gap fill to 234, which would be the ideal price to buy it. So that's what I'm waiting for. I'm on the sidelines on this play, so I'm doing nothing, you know, not doing anything with this. I have a price alert at or below 239. That's where I'm interested in buying. And then I have a price alert at 453. That's where I'm interested in shorting and buying puts. For this particular play, I'm not going to buy puts. Actually, I might consider a leap on this. I might actually do that. I might consider some midterm put options on this particular stock. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing. Now, in order for me to do that, it has to go to 453 and it has to react as resistance. So the play for me is midterm put options, probably 60 days out, staying in the money, playing it safe. If it spikes back to 453, reacts as a resistance, we get the bearish confirmation. And then from there, ride this back down to fill the gap below. That's what I see on it in terms of the play and active. Other than that, in terms of buying, I'll be interested in buying when this hits 234. So in the meantime, it's just going to be chop, micro spikes, continue to go lower and lower. So yeah, I'm on the sidelines. That was the play, guys. So that is BBIG. At this point, there's just really not much to talk about in terms of the price action of this stock. Unless some sort of miracle can happen and the volume comes back, this is just really going to be a graveyard for the most part, and a lot of bag holders are going to be created for those who bought in the mid threes plus and are not selling. But yeah, I'm really glad that I was able to assist you guys in the right direction both ways in terms of when to get in, when to lock the profits, and when to buy the put options. But that's the play, guys. Like, you have to understand, these play out. That was the strategy. You don't just follow this every day. Like, it's time to move on. It's time to find other stocks. It's time to find other opportunities. There's just not much to do with this one other than what I said. Look into midterm leap puts at 453. You see it react as resistance, and then midterm leap calls when it gets down to 234, but you need the bullish confirmations. So yeah, that's my thoughts. That's my analysis on it. I directed members and I directed people in the right direction, and I'm very proud of that because that's what I try my best to do, to teach you guys the price action and to always point you in the direction. I have no interest in hyping anything up or anything like that. I'm telling you how it is, and analysis can change as momentum changes and as things change within the market. But this is where I currently stand on that stock. And personally, from a bearish macro point of view, I don't see any reason to be bullish from a macro point of view here unless we can turn 453 into support. For me to be bullish on this, it has to turn 453 into support. Your best case scenario is, in my point of view right now, with the volume lacking and the way things are going with the market, the bearish candles, like it pops to 453 and then that's just it. But yeah, just know from a macro point of view, for this to continue to run, it needs to quickly spike back up to not 4 to 453 and turn that into support. Not looking good for BBIG stock. It really looks like what we're in play and what we're in for is something like this, just maybe not as quick as a drop, but definitely low 3 soon. So that's my thoughts. That's my analysis on BBIG stock. Please go back and watch the previous videos, especially the first one I made on BBIG stock. It's really gonna help teach you in terms of price action, when to get in, when to step out, when to be bearish. Those are going to be like such key important lessons. The most valuable one was that first one, the first two that I made. But yeah, it's just kind of dried up right now, and we just got to see if we can get back to 453 for the leap puts and then 234 for the leap calls. That's thoughts, that's analysis. Time to move on to the next play, guys, the next opportunities. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. It is going to be an absolute banger. So much to talk about. It's going to be a longer one, a lot of market insanity to cover. And I will see you guys tomorrow live at Market Open within Trader Society. If you are interested in checking that out, it's the first link in the description below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video tonight.